you see that Jake Gyllenhaal has also unfollowed Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds, and Blake Lively. But apparently he didn't unfollow them until they had already unfollowed him.
I'm really bad at
keeping a straight face around TJ Miller. Everyone knows that on our set. We lost days to me. Yeah.
They weren't the first to do this. It was Blake Lively, it was Ryan Reynolds, this was their strategy, and now they kind of want to put the genie back in the bottle, but guess what? The genie does not want to go back in the bottle.
I did a film with an absolute idiot of a co-star, and this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out, and I think I was so vulnerable and comfortable.
Ryan Reynolds, Hollywood's beloved funny guy or a power-hungry control freak? Behind the charming smile and sarcastic wit lies a darker side that's finally coming to light. From on-set tantrums to toxic behavior, this is the untold story of how Ryan Reynolds' carefully crafted image is crumbling and why Hollywood is done with his ego. Buckle up, because this is one exposé you won't want to miss. Ryan Reynolds. The name alone conjures images of quick-witted banter, Deadpool's razor-sharp humor, and a seemingly endless stream of viral social media posts. For years, he's been Hollywood's golden boy, the guy everyone loves to love. But what if the man behind the memes isn't who we thought he was? And now Fox News has pulled back the curtain even further, exposing Reynolds' alleged toxic behavior in a hard-hitting segment. The network revealed an incident during Deadpool 2 where Reynolds reportedly fired a makeup artist after she was unavailable for reshoots, allegedly threatening her with, "If you don't come back, you will never work in this industry again." Fox News didn't stop there. They dug deeper, citing multiple sources who described Reynolds as a control freak who thrives on intimidation, comparing him to other controversial Hollywood figures and calling out his hypocrisy as a self-proclaimed nice guy. This isn't just about a few bad days on set. It's about a pattern of behavior that's left a trail of frustration and resentment in its wake. From his infamous clashes with directors to his alleged manipulation of co-stars, Ryan's reputation as a nice guy is under serious scrutiny. And as more people come forward, the question on everyone's mind is, how long can someone like Ryan Reynolds keep the truth buried? But this story isn't just about Ryan. It's about the industry that enabled him, the fans who adored him, and the co-stars who stayed silent until now. From his early days as a rising star to his current status as a Hollywood heavyweight, this is the untold story of Ryan Reynolds' rise, fall, and the toxic behavior that's finally coming to light. So, is Ryan Reynolds the charming, self-deprecating hero we all thought he was? Or is he a power-hungry control freak who's been hiding behind a mask of humor and humility? The truth is more shocking than you could ever imagine.
Ryan Reynolds had to do some reshoots for the movie. His makeup artist was out of the country working. Ryan Reynolds threatened to fire the makeup artist off the rest of the film and the reshoots they had to do, and also said, if you don't come back and do my makeup for these reshoots, you will never work in Hollywood again.
Ryan Reynolds has long been celebrated as Hollywood's go-to funny man, the guy who can make you laugh with a single deadpan quip. But behind the scenes, the reality is far less amusing. Recent revelations have exposed a side of Reynolds that fans never expected. A controlling, egotistical, and manipulative individual who uses his power to intimidate and dominate those around him. One of the most shocking allegations comes from his time on the set of Deadpool 2. According to an inside source, Reynolds reportedly threw an insane tantrum when his personal makeup artist was unavailable for reshoots. Instead of hiring another professional, Reynolds allegedly threatened to blacklist the artist from Hollywood entirely, saying, "If you don't come back, you will never work in this industry again." This kind of behavior isn't just unprofessional, it's toxic. It reveals a man who believes he's above the rules, someone who thinks he can dictate the careers of others simply because he's the star. And this isn't an isolated incident. Multiple sources have come forward to describe Reynolds as a power-hungry control freak who thrives on intimidation. But it doesn't stop there. Reynolds' need for control extends beyond makeup artists. On the set of Deadpool 2, he reportedly clashed with crew members over minor details, from lighting setups to camera angles. One crew member described him as a dictator who micromanages everything. Another source claimed that Reynolds' behavior created a hostile work environment, with many crew members feeling walked on eggshells to avoid his wrath. Even more troubling are the reports of Reynolds' treatment of junior staff. A production assistant on Deadpool 2 recalled an incident where Reynolds berated a young intern for bringing him the wrong type of coffee. He didn't just yell, he humiliated the kid in front of everyone, the source said. It was like he enjoyed flexing his power. This pattern of behavior isn't limited to Deadpool. On the set of The Hitman's Bodyguard, Reynolds reportedly clashed with co-star Samuel L. Jackson over creative differences. While Jackson has remained diplomatic in public, insiders say the tension was palpable. Ryan wanted everything his way, and Samuel wasn't having it, a source revealed. It got so bad that the director had to step in and mediate. The Deadpool franchise may have made Ryan Reynolds a household name, but it also exposed his obsession with control. What started as a passion project to bring the Merc with a mouth to life quickly turned into a battleground for creative control, and Ryan Reynolds was determined to come out on top. The original Deadpool was directed by Tim Miller, the visionary behind the film's groundbreaking action sequences and irreverent tone. Miller's direction was instrumental in turning Deadpool into a cultural phenomenon, but by the time Deadpool 2 rolled around, he was out. Why? Because Ryan Reynolds wanted complete creative control. Miller later admitted that he left the project because he wasn't willing to fight Reynolds on every decision. In a candid interview, Miller said, "Ryan wanted full control, and I wasn't willing to compromise. It wasn't about creative differences, it was about power. He's the kind of person who needs to be in charge, even if it means pushing out people who helped make the franchise what it is." This wasn't just a clash of egos, it was a clear example of Reynolds' inability to share power. Insiders revealed that Reynolds micromanaged every aspect of Deadpool 2, from script revisions to editing decisions. One crew member described the set as tense and toxic, with Reynolds frequently overruling the new director, David Leitch, and making unilateral decisions without consulting the team. But it wasn't just directors who felt the brunt of Reynolds' ego. Co-stars also found themselves sidelined when they dared to challenge him. Morena Baccarin, who played Vanessa, Wade Wilson's love interest in the first Deadpool, was reportedly reduced to an afterthought in the sequel after a disagreement with Reynolds. Sources close to the production revealed that the tension between Baccarin and Reynolds began during the early stages of Deadpool 2. Baccarin, who had been a fan favorite in the first film, had a few creative suggestions for her character's development. She wanted Vanessa to have a more active role in the story, including a subplot that explored her relationship with Wade Wilson in greater depth. However, Reynolds wasn't receptive to her ideas. According to insiders, he dismissed her suggestions outright, saying, "This is my movie. I know what's best for the story." The confrontation left Baccarin feeling undervalued and marginalized. One insider described the atmosphere on set as tense and uncomfortable, with Reynolds making it clear that he had the final say on all creative decisions. After the disagreement, Baccarin's role in Deadpool 2 was significantly reduced. While Vanessa had been a central character in the first film, her screen time in the sequel was cut dramatically. Fans were quick to notice the change, with many expressing disappointment on social media. But the sidelining didn't stop there. Baccarin was also excluded from promotional tours, press events, and even red carpet photos, a clear sign of Reynolds' petty, vindictive nature. One insider explained, "Morena had a few creative suggestions for her character, and Ryan didn't like that. He made it clear that this was his movie, and anyone who didn't fall in line would be pushed to the sidelines." The exclusion was particularly jarring, given Baccarin's prominence in the first film. She had been a key part of Deadpool's success, with her chemistry with Reynolds being one of the film's highlights. But in Deadpool 2, she was reduced to little more than a supporting character, with her scenes feeling rushed and underdeveloped. Fans were quick to notice Baccarin's reduced role, and many took to social media to express their disappointment. Hashtags like #Justice for Vanessa and #Morena deserves better began trending, with fans calling out Reynolds for sidelining one of the franchise's most beloved characters. Critics also took note, with several reviews pointing out the glaring absence of Baccarin's character. One critic wrote, "Vanessa's reduced role in Deadpool 2 is a glaring misstep. Morena Baccarin brought heart and depth to the first film, and her sidelining feels like a disservice to both the character and the audience." The backlash was a stark reminder of the power dynamics at play in Hollywood and how easily a star like Reynolds could overshadow his co-stars. Despite the controversy, Baccarin has remained largely silent about her experience on Deadpool 2. In interviews, she has been diplomatic, praising the film and its cast, while avoiding any mention of the behind-the-scenes drama. However, insiders say that her silence speaks volumes. One source close to Baccarin revealed, "Morena didn't want to rock the boat. She knew speaking out could hurt her career, so she chose to stay quiet. But she was deeply hurt by the way she was treated." Baccarin's sidelining is just one example of Reynolds' controlling behavior on set. From clashes with directors to undermining co-stars, his need for control has left a trail of frustration and resentment. For Baccarin, the experience was a harsh reminder of the challenges women face in Hollywood. Despite her talent and contributions to the franchise, she was pushed aside for daring to challenge Reynolds' vision. As Hollywood continues to grapple with issues of power and accountability, Baccarin's story serves as a cautionary tale and a reminder that even the most beloved stars can have a darker side. If you think Reynolds' toxic behavior is limited to the Deadpool set, think again. Rebecca Ferguson, who starred alongside Reynolds in the 2017 film Life, has spoken out about her experience with an idiot of a co-star. While she never named names, the clues point directly to Reynolds. Ferguson described her co-star as insecure and angry, someone who couldn't handle the pressure of filming. She was so uncomfortable that she refused to act directly with this person, instead demanding to act toward a tennis ball. "I looked at this person and said, 'You can fie off. I'm going to work towards a tennis ball. I never want to see you again,'" Ferguson revealed. This level of toxicity is staggering. Imagine being so unbearable that your co-star refuses to even look at you on camera. And yet, this is the reality of working with Ryan Reynolds, a man who prioritizes his ego over professionalism. But Ferguson's experience didn't end there. After speaking out, she reportedly received calls from colleagues warning her that she had gone too far. "I was told to keep quiet, that I was risking my career by speaking out," Ferguson said. This is the dark side of Hollywood, a place where powerful actors like Reynolds are protected and victims are silenced. Once upon a time, Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal were Hollywood's favorite bromance. They laughed together on talk shows, cracked inside jokes, and even starred in the same film, Life. Their chemistry was undeniable, and fans couldn't get enough of their playful banter. But today, their friendship is ice cold, and the story behind their fallout is as dramatic as it gets. Reynolds and Gyllenhaal first met on the set of Life, a sci-fi thriller that paired them as astronauts stranded in space. Off-screen, their friendship quickly became the talk of Hollywood. They appeared on talk shows together, trading jokes and teasing each other in a way that felt genuine and endearing. Fans loved their dynamic, and for a while, it seemed like their bromance was unbreakable. But behind the scenes, cracks were beginning to form. Rumors of tension between Reynolds and Gyllenhaal began circulating shortly after Life wrapped filming. Insiders claimed that Reynolds' jealousy and insecurity were at the heart of the conflict. According to one source, Insider, Ryan couldn't handle sharing the spotlight. He was used to being the funny guy, the star of the show. But Jake's talent and charisma were undeniable, and it made Ryan feel threatened. The tension reportedly spilled over into promotional events, with Reynolds dominating interviews and sidelining Gyllenhaal. One particularly awkward moment occurred during a press tour, where Reynolds repeatedly interrupted Gyllenhaal, leaving him visibly frustrated. The breaking point came during the filming of a high-profile project that both actors were attached to. While the project ultimately fell through, the experience left Gyllenhaal disillusioned with Reynolds. According to insiders, Reynolds' controlling behavior and need for creative control created a toxic environment on set. Gyllenhaal, known for his professionalism and dedication to his craft, found it increasingly difficult to work with Reynolds. One source revealed, Jake is a serious actor who takes his work very seriously. Ryan's constant need to be the center of attention and his refusal to collaborate made it impossible for them to work together. The fallout became public when Gyllenhaal was asked about Reynolds in a recent interview. His response was telling. His face dropped, his energy shifted, and he coldly said, "Jake Gyllenhaal. I have nothing to say about him." The comment sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Gyllenhaal, known for his diplomacy and professionalism, rarely speaks negatively about his colleagues. His icy response was a clear indication that the fallout was more than just a minor disagreement, it was a full-blown rift. While Reynolds has remained tight-lipped about the fallout, insiders suggest that his jealousy and insecurity played a significant role. Reynolds, who has built his career on his charm and wit, reportedly struggled with Gyllenhaal's talent and critical acclaim. One source explained, "Ryan has always been competitive, but with Jake it was different." Jake's success and respect in the industry made Ryan feel insecure, and it ultimately drove a wedge between them. Today, Reynolds and Gyllenhaal are no longer on speaking terms. Their once close friendship has been reduced to awkward encounters at industry events and a noticeable absence of any public interaction. For Gyllenhaal, the fallout has been a reminder of the challenges of navigating Hollywood's competitive landscape. For Reynolds, it's a stark reminder that even the most carefully crafted image can't hide the cracks forever. Ryan Reynolds' reputation in Hollywood is crumbling, and it's not hard to see why. From directors to co-stars to makeup artists, everyone who's worked with him has a story to tell. And the common thread: Reynolds is controlling, insecure, and downright toxic. Even his exes have spoken out. Scarlett Johansson, who was married to Reynolds from 2008 to 2011, described him as passive-aggressively jealous. Alanis Morissette, his former fiancée, went a step further, calling him insecure and devastated in her album Flavors of Entanglement. When two exes from completely different worlds say the same thing, it's hard to ignore the truth. Reynolds' behavior isn't just affecting his personal relationships, it's damaging his professional ones too. Directors like Chris Columbus, Home Alone, Harry Potter, have publicly criticized him for pitching ridiculous ideas like Stoned Alone, a stoner version of Home Alone. Columbus called it an insult to cinema, and he's not alone in his disdain for Reynolds. For years, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have been Hollywood's golden couple. Their Instagram posts are filled with quirky jokes and adorable moments, painting the picture of a perfect marriage. But is it all just a carefully crafted PR campaign? Many believe that Reynolds' relationship with Lively was a strategic move to rebuild his image after his failed marriage to Scarlett Johansson. Lively, who was still a rising star at the time, was the perfect choice. Someone who wouldn't overshadow him. And it worked. Reynolds went from being a divorced actor to the funny, lovable husband everyone adored. But now, cracks are starting to show. Lively's own legal battles and Reynolds' growing list of scandals have put their relationship under the microscope. Are they really the perfect couple, or is it all just a facade? The truth may be closer than we think. Ryan Reynolds' entire career is built on sarcasm. But as more people speak out, it's becoming clear that his humor isn't just harmless fun, it's a mask for his insecurities. TJ Miller, who co-starred with Reynolds in Deadpool, described him as genuinely mean on set. "He wasn't joking, he was just rude," Miller said. "This isn't comedy, it's cruelty." Reynolds uses sarcasm to belittle others, not to entertain, and now even his fans are starting to see through the act. His once charming humor is now coming off as mean-spirited and exhausting. Hollywood is done with Ryan Reynolds. Directors are refusing to work with him, co-stars are speaking out, and even his closest friends have turned their backs. Jake Gyllenhaal's icy dismissal is just the tip of the iceberg. Fox News, of all places, has exposed Reynolds for being a toxic, controlling nightmare. And when even your own exes are calling you out, it's hard to maintain the nice guy image. Reynolds' Hollywood empire is crumbling, and there's no one left to defend him. Ryan Reynolds' relationships have always been messy, from his divorce with Scarlett Johansson to his quick rebound with Blake Lively. Reynolds has a history of prioritizing his image over his personal life. And let's not forget Alanis Morissette, who dropped an entire album about their breakup. The common theme? Insecurity. Reynolds is a man who can't handle being overshadowed, whether by a co-star or a partner. And it's this insecurity that's driving his toxic behavior. Ryan Reynolds' carefully crafted image is falling apart. His fake nice guy act is crumbling, and Hollywood is finally done with his ego tantrums and toxicity. From on-set meltdowns to public feuds, Reynolds has burned too many bridges to recover, and now even his fans are starting to see the truth. Ryan Reynolds isn't the lovable funny guy he pretends to be. He's just another power-hungry Hollywood narcissist. What do you think about Ryan Reynolds' fall from grace? Is he really the toxic control freak he's being made out to be, or is there more to the story? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Hollywood exposés. The truth always comes out, and we'll be here to bring it to you.